there's only 5 days left until Chips and I leave for Taiwan. 5 days. 5 days. I think he's taught me how to count in Chinese, and I think that Wu is 5, and I remember it like whoa, and I think that's 5. Probably wrong. He keeps trying to teach me to count in Chinese, and because I know Japanese, I'll be like san, and then because 3 is the same in both languages, I'll switch and be like shi go roku nana hachi kyu ju, and then I'll look at him and he'll just stare at me. So I'm working on learning how to count in Chinese, which is going to be important. I want to go and I want to make an effort to learn. I don't want to just go and expect Chips to handle everything. That's not the way this is going to work. I want to make an effort to learn so that I can be respectful to the culture that I'm going to be like amongst. I want to be respectful to the people there. I want to be able to buy my own lunch. There's practicalities to this too. And speaking of which, one of the other reasons I'm trying to learn to count is because Chips finally got a little bit of the Taiwanese money. He went to a money exchanger and got some of the Taiwanese dollars we're going to be using. And apparently the cheapest way to actually get money for Taiwan is just to go with your normal debit card and go to an ATM and just pay like the $1.50 in fees there, and you can get whatever you need out of the ATMs. And usually all of the stories I've ever heard about traveling to foreign countries are like, you lose such a huge percentage of your money in the money transfer between money lenders at the airport, or you want to watch out for the sketchy money lenders out there. But apparently like that's one of the easiest ways in Taiwan is just to go with your normal bank card and like use an ATM. So I'm hoping that'll work out for me. Chip says he's going to make sure that I have a certain amount of money. He's going to like make little cards that I get to keep in my little purse, so I can have like, I'm lost, please help contact this person. I'm lost, please help return me to this spot. So those are some of the safety measures that we're going to take. I have zero sense of direction if there's not plants involved. I'm not even joking. And that's one of the reasons Chips is always so willing to drive me places or go with me places, because I get lost in our own neighborhood. And if I recognize trees and bushes, then I know where I am. As ridiculous as that sounds, but I can't remember street names, and I get lost if just like turning a corner and I'm like, where am I? I have no sense of orientation at all. So he's really worried about that and gonna make little cards so I don't continue to get lost in Taiwan. But that's coming. That's coming. This time next week, I'm going to be in another country, and that's a pretty intense feeling. But what's also a pretty intense feeling is staying on top of all the projects that I've got going on, and you guys have been so amazing at reminding me it's okay. If you need to step away for a few days, it's gonna be fine. And I think I'm going to force myself to look at the things that I have listed on my schedule for the next 5 days of things to record, and I'm just going to chop half of it off. Ooh, that's scary, but it's just stuff like Warrior Cat's Untold Tales, like getting The Sims 4 up and going again, so that we've had a few episodes before the Parenthood pack comes out on the 30th. Let's see what else is up there. Star Stable, let's see, the Warrior Cat bonus episodes, Niche. There's some things that as a practicality I should probably definitely try to get up, but I can feel the stress levels rising, especially as I'm currently signing the last of 150 posters, which are almost sold out. I think I actually need to go through, because I had to pull a few for people who like got them through other avenues other than Etsy, and I have to change the number, and I think we're almost sold out, and I just can't believe that. And it's such a sorry birds, such a relief to know that that is back there to lean into, and that helps so much with not having to worry while I travel if the videos go wonky donkey or the ad revenue goes wonky donkey. I can still pay my rent and make sure my mom's nurse can make it to her home. Those are my top 2 things. Oh yeah, and I should probably eat. Like, okay, there's probably 4 things actually. Paying my rent so that I can keep my home, being able to make sure that my mom's nurse is there for her all the time, feeding my animals, which the birds don't eat that much. When I do have to order them food now and then, it feels pricey because it's like 3 months worth of seeds and spray millet and then Zupreme, and okay, they're kind of spoiled, so they don't don't have to have all of the treats that I get them, but I really love my birds, so I give them lots of treats. But I'm actually good on their food for the summer, so that I'm leaving it for the birdie babysitter, who said she's gonna pick up the P.O. box stuff. Yes, she's actually super excited about that, so I feel really relieved. It'll be fun to come home to a big pile of stuff waiting for us. And then also, the fourth thing, I guess, is making sure Chip's not eat. So as long as those things are taken care of in life, then we're good. So I just need to remember that and make my schedule a little bit less. But I did have a business meeting this morning, and going over with my business advisor, who's just my friend Ben, who really helps me look over the numbers and look over the schedule. And I talked with Chips about like things that I might want to be putting out, and then I have built the June schedule, and I feel really good about it. There's only a couple days every June day, every day in June. There's only a couple days in June when we go up to 6 videos a day. So I feel really relieved because I can probably balance that out. Almost every day is 5 videos, which still sounds like a ton, but we are going to be running our core series, and we're going to be running the Summer in Space special. And it is summer, and that is actually one of the most important seasons as a YouTuber to be putting out extra content. People are going to be home, the ad revenue is much higher, and it's a good time to try to stock up and kind of restore whatever imbalance may have been experienced over the last couple months with the ad bumps. So I'm hoping everything will go okay, but I definitely need to be careful with managing my time. All right, so I'm gonna sign these posters, and I think I'm gonna actually manage my time by following my heart a little bit and going on a walk with Chips if he's willing, because later tonight we are going to be popping into Staples looking for some label printing things, so I can just print out labels instead of print them, cut them, tape them like I did for the first batch of posters. We're gonna get all the posters off. The first batch has already been shipped out. The second batch is being signed and put into tubes and shipped out by tomorrow as well. And I'm really excited, and I really need to sit down and look at my to-do list of things to do and just take it one step at a time and go a little slower. I wonder what it means when you're the kind of person who always has to take your to-do list and just cut it in half, and that's actually what's manageable. I'm not sure, but at least I'm finally willing to admit it. Signing these posters, watching some of Stacy's Mystic Mesa Minecraft, and all I can think about is how I want to get a productivity book to be able to figure out how to not have to delete things from my schedule. Is that the sign of a workaholic, like addiction? Do I actually, instead of getting a productivity book to read on the airplane, need to get something about workaholicism and read it and start some sort of like intervention for myself instead? It's just so hard when you know it's gonna make people happy and you just want to make more of it. All right, maybe I should start scheduling everything around my walks. Maybe that's how to do it. Do the healthy, heart-filling things, and then I can patch in work and all of that around doing the healthy things for me first. Maybe it's the same thing as yesterday. Instead of thinking about the most like productive things, it is about thinking about the things that really take care of you from the inside out. Huh. Maybe I'm finally having a breakthrough. All of the posters are signed. That goes a lot faster, dare I say, than I always think it will, because 150 sounds like a gigantic number, and it is. And that's, oh my gosh, like almost 150 posters are going to go off and find homes in this world. And if I start thinking about that on an empty stomach, I'm going to get too emotional, have to rein things in for a little bit. But I just finished signing the posters, and it was really awesome. And just as I signed the last poster, I was looking at it and I was looking at the silver Sharpie, and I ended up doodling a little heart on my wrist. And this little heart is actually, there we go, is actually supposed to remind me to focus on the things that fill my heart first. And I have so much to talk about when it comes to that. I know it's something I mention a lot. I ramble about it in zoo crafting, I ramble about it in our ramble vlogs, I ramble about it in our update vlogs, but it's not easy for me to think what makes me super happy and feel just joyful and full of cloudy, happy rainbow feelings today, and just do that. I am a bit of a workaholic because I'm always so worried about taking care of my family, and because I was raised in a culture where you work. That's what you do. If you have energy, put it to use. It's like, imagine you know how you spend your time in Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon and you fall into the flow of like eking out every single second of your day so that you're able to do all of the mining and all of the wooing of your friends and all of the livestock and crop taking care ofness, and that's kind of like my default mode all of the time. And it takes a lot of time and effort and a certain amount of success in Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon or Rune Factory to be able to start focusing on the more what feel like frivolous things, the things that aren't going to advance anything, the things that just make your farm pretty, the things that just make you happy. Like for me, that's mining in Stardew Valley. Just mining makes me so happy. I really just enjoy it. And I have a hard time in real life with shifting that gear from, is this moment productive, to, does this moment fill my heart? Because I'm from a workaholic culture and I'm from a family that needed me to work a lot in order to try to help keep things going. And now that I do have a roof over my head and food that's about to be in my stomach, by the way, this is a delicious sandwich that you guys have actually got a vlog for how to make. It has toasted coconut chips and lettuce and tofurkey and vegan mayonnaise in it. And a lot of lettuce. It's almost like a salad unto itself because I really love lettuce. And then I've also got my Stacy Plays mug. She was so sweet when she saw that I got that, because she mentioned, like, I tweeted that I got it and I was so excited, and she tweeted back, why didn't you just ask me? I would have given you one. But I actually didn't even occur to me to ask Stacy for one of her mugs, because I just thought, I like Stacy. I like her mug. I like milquetoast. I'll buy the mug and support Stacy. And it didn't even occur to me to just ask her. And it makes me happy actually, because actually buying that mug from a YouTuber that I know and buying it from someone who I really wanted to like support, it made me have the confidence to do the poster. So that's actually the secret seed that made me willing to like kind of crawl forward and do the posters even though I was so nervous. And then all of these are my vegan vitamins, which may seem kind of alarming until you remember I do have immune system issues. And so I'm taking a very special B12, a very special CoQ10, very special Ovega, which is a vegan form of omega-3. And the more omega-3s you can get in to combat lupus, the better. There's a lot of research showing that a ton of omega-3s really help to keep it from activating. And then a special vitamin D that I actually had that genetic testing done for, because I don't process vitamin D from the sun like a proper plant should. I process it only from this special supplement that we have to special order. So all of those things, and then an iron supplement for the vegan part. So really the only things that I need to take because I'm vegan are the Ovega, because I can't eat fish anymore, and the iron. So it sounds like a lot of things because it's 5 things I take every day, but it's not. And I take it with orange juice or emergency to make sure that the vitamin C helps me process the iron. So that's my lunch. And how did I get here? I need to eat. I'm rambling so much because I'm hungry. But yeah, now that I have food that's about to be in my stomach and a roof over my head, things are not as do or die as I always feel they are financially. It's just scary when you have so many things to take care of, and that scary will always be there, I think. And I need to just learn to know that, yeah, I could throw myself into being a workaholic to fight the scary, and to go, if something happens to my mom again, that's even worse, that needs more money to fix, then I have those resources, right? Because I worked so hard. And that isn't really a way to live. So I don't know, there's a lot of rambling I need to do to be able to find my path forward, but I was just thinking while I was holding that silver Sharpie, looking at the last poster that I just signed, and then writing this little heart tattoo on my wrist, that I do want to make some progress. And I always am telling you guys about joy, and I wonder what it would be if I switched from workaholic, every moment has to be productive mode, to putting the joy things in my life first. I'm responsible enough a person and a workaholic enough. I don't think if I go, oh, putting my walk first, putting cleaning my home so it's nice and peaceful with chips first, putting my joy journaling first, putting some hobby that just fills me up on a creative level and gives back some energy and resources that I really need for work. Maybe I'm beginning to blur the lines there. But maybe if I put all those things first and build my work schedule around it, that will make it better. That will make it okay. Is that what work-life balance is? Should it be life-work balance? Whoa, that just did something to my head. To call it life-work balance instead of work-life balance? Whoa. And then, of course, there's that little voice in the back of my mind that goes, you're so privileged to even be able to have this conversation with yourself. And I am. And I think that there's a lot of guilt over my job and how lucky I am to have it. Even if, I guess, whenever I say that, people are always like, Seri, you're not lucky. You worked your rump off. You have over 5,000 YouTube videos. You worked to get where you are. And I guess I get that, but I'm still lucky to be here. And I guess there's a lot of guilt over knowing that there are people who deserve to earn far more than I do, who aren't, who are earning far less. Teachers, firefighters, important things in this world. But what I do is important too. How is it that workaholicism, joy, self-confidence, and all of that are just always a tangled, knotted mess? Is being an adult figuring out all of those things, or is it just me? So I'm gonna think, that's the other reason I drew the heart on, is I don't want to just repeat the same things of like, oh, I gotta think about what makes me happy more often. Oh, I gotta think about joy more often. To you guys, I actually want to make progress in my life on those fronts. So I'm gonna keep this little silver heart on my wrist for a little while. And maybe we'll try life-work balance. And if I do a good job at it and I can find that flow, maybe I'll have learned something important to be able to offer to you guys. I know I'm in such a unique position and a privileged position as I am, being able to work from home as a YouTuber, and there's a lot of risks that you take on. There's no health insurance. You have to pay self-employment taxes, which can be significant. Michigan's a really good state to live in for that, actually. And there's the risks of being at the whims of the YouTube ad stuff. There's risks involved, but there's risk with every job. And I still feel truly lucky and so amazingly blown away to be here that I think that's sometimes where my overworking comes from, is there's so many people who would kill for this, to be able to do this. I should make the most of it because there's people who are really miserable at their job and I like my job. And I guess I need to rein that in a little bit too. So I'll figure it out, but I feel like I'm making just the tiniest little bit of progress lately. And that's really nice. We found an actual little fairy circle. This is so cool. There's so many mushrooms popping up all over the compost everywhere. But this one, finally, the little circular pattern, aka a fairy circle, that grows because of the way the filaments spread under the ground from the mushrooms. But this is just the cutest thing. I don't think I've ever found a fairy circle before, or it's been many years, and this is just in our front yard. This is so cool. Look at all these mushrooms. This is so cool. They're so big. This doesn't look structurally sound ground to walk on, so I'm not gonna get any closer. And there's even more down there. Darling, we should go to the forest today. So this is a little peace garden someone built in their backyard for the people who are walking into one of our neighborhood parks. And you can see someone came by and actually planted tons of flowers over here for the spring and summer season for you to enjoy before you walk in to the park. And the person who lives here turns this part of their garden into a free pick area full of tomatoes, and they have all these blackberry bushes that come up over here, and there's usually like zucchini, strawberries, all sorts of things that you're free to pick and take home while you're walking your way over to the park. And I think they're probably the same people who have planted, looks like a rose bush and just lots and lots of flowers to enjoy while you walk past this beautiful honeysuckle tree into the forest, just in our small little neighborhood park. I love it here. Look at all of these. It's so beautiful. Everything's just seeming to come up all of a sudden. I have no idea what these flowers are, so if you guys know, please let me know. They come up past my waist. They're so pretty. Our little forest is just so beautiful. It's green everywhere and it just feels like it's reaching up and wrapping around you. And all the little paths look totally different than they did a couple weeks ago. Oh, I can't wait just to be able to do more walking vlogs. That'll be really fun. I I can't even handle this. This whole forest is honeysuckles. All of these months that I have been walking on these paths, looking at the mushrooms and the beautiful birds and the gorgeous winter we had here, and I had no idea that basically everywhere behind me is honeysuckles. This is so pretty. This is so pretty. And as Chips was pointing out, it's also impossible to see any birds because there's so many leaves. Look how gorgeous this is. Darling, don't get whopped in the face by this branch. Look at these. Oh, and something itchy just touched my leg. That's fine, there's plenty of jewelweed around here. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh. I love our home. Darling, I don't ever want to leave Michigan. Other than like the fact we're going, you know what I mean, to Taiwan. Oh, this is gorgeous. Guys, wild columbines! Wild columbines! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. They're so tiny and far away and you can hardly see them. But they are the red variety of columbine. And there's some way over there. And there's some way over there. And I'm so in love with them. Oh, there's more over here. Wow. They're so beautiful. And they're so pretty. And I used to love hunting these out and finding them in the forest when I lived in Missouri, but it was very unusual to see them. Unless you were my sister, she could just walk into the forest and find like a giant field full of them. They're some of my favorite flowers. Chips just found a shy daddy longlegs on the side of this tree. Hi, buddy. You know you're not really a spider? Everybody thinks you are, but you're not. Yeah, you're pretty cool. Look at these! Chips found like these really weird goopy mushrooms. I have no idea what they are because I've never seen them before, but they're really cool looking. Good eye, darling! All of this rain means that it is mushroom time everywhere. It's kind of fun to recognize certain tree trunks and know that they're really good for these sort of staggy horny looking mushrooms. I think they're called druid seat mushrooms, darling. Oh gosh. There goes a big old crow. Oh, it sounds like a rainforest in here. This is just so pretty. Honeysuckles overhead. Beautiful flowers everywhere. Tiny bit of rain coming down. Chipmunks chirping all over the place. I love this. Look at the size of this one! Holy moly! I'm gonna come see him tomorrow. We've got a nice little walking date in the morning, my friend. It's really late now. And it has been a big full day. And I might do a little bit more work tonight. But part of me wants to go downstairs and just sit next to Chips while he plays Breath of the Wild and write in my joy journal. So I probably will do that too. I mean, it's late enough that the moths are bumping against my window, so I should turn off the light so I don't confuse them and they don't try to reach my beautiful flowers that are in here, much to their despair, not ever being able to touch them, and I just don't like teasing the moths, I guess. But today turned out to be pretty interesting and a really good day. I managed to create some fantastic adventures to share over on the main channel, and I went on a really great adventure with Chips. I love those walks. I hope I remember in the morning that my determination is to go on those walks for the last 4 days that I can before we leave. And there's only going to be 4 days left in the morning before we head out for Taiwan. And I'm going to have a big adventure. And I'm really grateful to you guys for being here and giving me a place where I can ramble and read your comments and try to figure out what it means to have a job you are so lucky and grateful to do. Today I was browsing my subscription feed while cleaning the downstairs, which is one of the life over work joy things that give me that joy energy, that happy energy, that balanced energy that I decided to do. So I took a break from work and I went downstairs and cleaned our downstairs. So our home is a place that you can really feel a loving environment in. And while I was cleaning, I listened to something that popped up in my sub feed. and it was from the Vlogbrothers, talking about how if you are lucky enough to find a marketable skill that you enjoy doing as your job, keep doing it because you're one of the lucky ones. And then he went into talking about other things and really great descriptions of how your job doesn't define you, how the degree you have doesn't define you, how your job in life is to take care of yourself. And I thought that was really fantastic, but that line kept catching me again and again. You're one of the lucky ones, and I know I'm one of the lucky ones. And he didn't say it in a judgmental way, but it is kind of the thing I think about a lot. If you know you're one of the lucky ones, what is your responsibility to that luck? What's your responsibility to the people who aren't so lucky? And I think about that a lot, and I think it's because I've watched people I love struggle in careers that took everything out of them and gave almost nothing back, not even enough to sustain their families. I've worked jobs that demanded a lot from me and gave me almost nothing in return. I know the feeling, and I know how lucky I am. And I'll have to think about that later. But today, I was just really grateful to go on that walk and to talk to my sister who's messaging me again, and to do the things that gave me joy by realizing when I think of joy, I guess I think of joy as such a self-indulgent experience. Something that you do after you've earned the right to experience joy. And then I'm beginning to realize that what I consider joy, which is pretty much everything that I can touch and experience in love and life, most people would just consider balance. That life-work balance. And maybe it's too ambitious, but it would be really interesting to see what my life would look like if I put my life before my work. If I put walks with chips as the main thing on my schedule. If I put focusing on my fitness and health goals so that I can make sure I do the best to manage a body that may very well try to fall apart on me in the next few years, against checking off more of the boxes for the videos I've recorded for the day. And I still wish I could do it all, and I still am trying to figure out a way to have some life hacks to be able to do it all. But I wonder how my life would look, even as one of the lucky ones, with whatever responsibility that carries, to put my feeling of being alive, the things that give me that sense that I'm alive, like walking in the forest with chips, talking to my sister and laughing and sharing inside jokes, being able to joke around with my friend Ben, opening the snail mail tonight, being able to send off comments to people who were so kind, being able to joke with my friends on Twitter, being able to clean. What does life look like if I put those experiences first? And what kind of magic is it that makes those experiences feed the energy that I need for work? I always thought that work would feed the energy, probably because I grew up very poor, so I'm still thinking from a financial point of view only. I always thought work fed the energy that gave life. But now, I guess if you do what I do, where you create joy that comes from your heart to give to people, and that's your life mission, the thing that you're privileged enough and lucky enough to be able to do, maybe it's the other way around. So I'll think about it. It's very late, so I'm really glad I went on that walk, and one day maybe I'll be able to analyze the depth of why I feel the way I do, being one of the lucky ones, and then kind of feeling like you should turn around. I think the place I'm gonna find peace at is using whatever excess of resources I have, not just to help my family, but to help more people than that. And I think that's where the balance comes from, where I'll be able to be one of the lucky ones, doing what I love as my career, and I'll be able to live with that without the feeling of like, am I too privileged? Should I feel guilty for the joy I get to participate in, and the easy, it's hard work, but the ease of it being hard work that comes from inside in a good place, from a good place. I think if I find a way to give back to the wider world more than I do somehow, that'll help me. And I feel so much peace thinking that. So thank you guys for letting me ramble about that. I think that's where I need to go from here. I need to find a way where I truly feel that whatever I am doing, if not in the work I create, but in the other thing that I can do, volunteering or donating funds or raising awareness, I think that's the thing that I'm missing to make me really feel connected in my life, using my position as one of the lucky ones. I'm not one of the lucky ones who can just throw chunks of money at charities, but maybe I can find peace in my heart by being one of the lucky ones who gets to do what she loves and have a life where I get to think about what is it like to put my joy as the priority on my list. And again, I'm beginning to realize that what I consider joy, most people just consider work-life balance. So what would it be like if I lived a life-work balance instead, putting my life before my work? Maybe if I can find peace with all of that, if I find a way to contribute and give back even more. I think that's good. And I also wanted to say there were some bumpy things happening in my family tonight that made me realize, as I looked at this little silver heart on my wrist, it kept me grounded while some intense things were happening. But the other reason to put life first and joy first and fill up my heart with as much joy as I can and go on those walks first and clean first and then settle down and use what energy I have left to create and to work is because I used to think that the best way to take care of my family is to work. And again, that's coming from that financial point of view. And tonight I was reminded that sometimes, no matter how much money you might wish you had to throw at something, you can't fix certain things financially. And the only way to be able to help some of the people that I love is by going out there and actually experiencing joy, so that I can look the people I care about in the eye and honestly tell them from the bottom of my heart that there is joy and goodness out in the world, and that they shouldn't give up, and that they should keep working hard to get through the things that are painful, and to dream past the moment, and to know that there are good things waiting out in the world. And if I don't go out and find those good things, if I don't experience the things I've been experiencing, climbing to the top of the sand dune and seeing the beautiful Great Lake of Michigan, being able to stand in the Hawaiian jungle forest and see all of these rare endangered species fly overhead, eating delicious vegan pastries at the lunchroom with chips, being able to walk hand in hand with him along the beach, if I don't actually go out and let myself and force myself and push myself to grow and experience those things, I don't think I could look the people I care about in the eye and tell them there's joy and goodness in the world and don't give up. And sometimes that's the resource I need to take care of my family. It's not money. It's not working harder. If I looked them in the eye and it was the tired, exhausted eyes of somebody who stays up till 2 in the morning every day working and can't remember the last time she had time to do laundry or went on a walk, or how she's not been able to just be in awe of the things that she sees in the world. Those kinds of eyes aren't going to give the people I care about that very important trait. So I'm going to remember that. There's more than just one way to take care of the people I love. And if I'm going to do that, then there's more than one thing, more than work, that I need to go out and experience. I really want them to know it's going to be okay, because there's good things in the world. So I'm going to do that. This has been another long one. I keep thinking eventually I'll make these vlogs shorter, but I think you guys are helping me work through some pretty intense stuff right now, and I'm really grateful. And I hope that maybe some part of the words that I talk about will help you guys too. And I just feel really good tonight about going out on my walks and doing things that make me happy, because tonight some stuff happened that made me realize I need to do that so that I can truly have happiness in my heart to show people that it really does exist, because that's the thing I need more than money sometimes. So it's nice not to feel guilty about my walk for the day, basically. All right, I'm gonna stop rambling. And thank you guys for your patience as I work through all of this. I'm feeling really good, and I hope you can see the shift in the progress as the days go by. And pretty soon I'll be so busy with Taiwan that all of the clustered cobwebs in my head will probably be blown away by all the new experiences. And we're gonna go out and find more joy. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.